Assalamualaikum dear students. Yesterday we have studied some lines with reference to the context of or imitation of immortality. Now we are going to continue our lecture from the next lines, and now we will look on the lines and explain them line by line with reference to the context. Hopefully you have seen the lecture which was delivered yesterday and you have understood that completely. Before explaining the lines, you should understand the background. William Wordsworth was a major poet of Romantic age. Romantic poets believed in the beauty of nature, the innocence of childhood, emotions, and imagination. In this poem, Wordsworth expresses a philosophical idea. When we are children, we see nature as magical and divine. As we grow older, the spiritual vision slowly disappears. This poem is about losing the magical vision of the childhood but still finding comfort in nature and memory. So now we read the lines. The moon doth with delight look round her when the heavens are bare. Waters on a stray night are beautiful and fair. The sunshine is a glorious birth, but yet I know, wherever I go, that there hath passed away a glory from the earth. The moon doth with delight look round her when the heavens are bare. The poet imagines the moon as a living being. The moon looks around happily when the sky is clear. This is an example of personification. So, you know what is personification? Personification means giving human qualities to the non human things. For example, when we say the wind whispered through the trees, wind cannot whisper, but the poet imagines it like a human. Similarly, Wordsworth imagines the moon looking around happily. So, main idea of this line is that nature appears alive and joyful. Come to the next lines. Waters on a stray night are beautiful and fair. Meaning, when stars shine at night, their light reflects on rivers and lakes. The water becomes extremely beautiful. For example, imagine a calm lake, stars reflecting in the water, gentle moonlight. It creates a magical scene. Hopefully, you have created a scene in your mind. Wordsworth wants to show that nature is still beautiful. Line number 5. The sunshine is glorious birth, meaning sunrise is compared to a glorious birth. Each morning when the sun rises, it feels like a new life begins. Here, a literary device is used metaphor, sunrise, birth of something glorious. Example, just like baby's birth brings happiness, sunrise brings hope and freshness. And furthermore, it's also very symbolic that as the sun rises, everything comes back to the birth. Life gets started on the earth, and all the businesses started on this earth. Flowers start to bloom. So, actually, the sunrise is a symbol of life. Now we come to the line number 6 and 7. But yet I know, wherever I go, that there hath passed away a glory from the earth. Meaning, although nature is still beautiful, the poet feels something is missing. He believes the world has lost some glory. But the change is not in nature, the change is inside the poet himself. So, in these lines, what is the main idea? The main idea is when we grow older, our imagination becomes weaker. we become practical. We lose the magical vision of childhood. Therefore, the world seems less wonderful. For example, when children see rain, they jump and play. A rainbow, they feel amazed. But adults usually think about traffic, wet clothes, work. So the sense of wonder disappears. Means in childhood we are carefree, we have no burden of the responsibilities, and we can enjoy the nature to its utmost. Now, as we have given the example of the rain and the rainbow, but the adults cannot enjoy these natural things, natural phenomena, because they have the responsibilities. They have to go to their works, they have to face the traffic. If the rain starts and we are on roads, we get worried about this, about our destinations and our clothes. Now we have to reach to the office, and we try to avoid the rain so that our clothes don't get wet, or we are in a hurry to reach our home or to our work, so that we can fulfill our responsibilities. In this way, we lose that vision, we lose that imagination, or we lose that enjoyment which nature provides us. This is what Wordsworth mean by a glory has passed away. Next stanza lines. Let's study the lines. Now, while the birds thus sing a choice song, and while the young lambs bound, as to the tabor's sound, to me alone there came a thought of grief. A timely utterance gave that thought relief, and I again am strong. The cataracts blow their trumpets from the steep. No more shall grief of mine the season wrong. First line, now while the birds thus sing a joyous song, meaning birds are happily singing in nature. This shows the nature is full of joy. Bird song symbolizes happiness and harmony. Second and third line, and while the young lambs bound as to the tabor sound, young lambs are jumping and playing happily. Wordsworth compares their movement to the dancing to music. What is tabor? A tabor is small drum used in celebrations. So the lambs look as if they are dancing to music. So you can imagine the spring season, and there are the lambs and the green fields, and they are running and playing, and how beautiful they look in that. I can imagine the white lambs, and they are grazing and they are playing. You have experienced that when the lambs or young lambs go into the green grass or green areas, they usually play with each other. They run around, and sometimes I feel that they are playing hide and seek. So you can imagine if you give some time, free time to yourself. So now we can say that everything in nature celebrates life. Line number 4, explanation. To me alone there came a thought of grief. Meaning, while nature is joyful, the poet suddenly feels sadness. Why? Because he remembers that the magical being of childhood is gone. Nature is happy, but the poet feels lonely and thoughtful. So, what he wants to say that there is nothing wrong in outside nature. Actually, the man has changes from inside, and that feeling gives him a sense of grief. Now come to the line number 5. A timely utterance gave the thought relief, meaning suddenly a thought or realization comforts him. He understands that although childhood vision is lost, nature still gives wisdom and peace. This realization removes his sadness. But as in the line number 4, he was saying that outside nature is happy, but he is sad. Uh, but optimistically, he calms him by thinking that still through nature, he can extract wisdom and peace. Now come to the line number 6. And I again am strong, meaning now the poet regains emotional strength. He decides not to remain sad. Instead, he will appreciate nature in a mature way. So these lines, line number 4, 5 and 6, it shows the transition how man can make himself strong. In the fourth line, he expresses his grief, then he realizes that nature still gives him wisdom, and now he says that he has gained his strength back. So, actually, it's the inner self of the human being which gave him strength. So, the poet wants to say that if a mature person want to associate with the nature, he can, but for that he has to put some effort. In childhood, we don't need to put any effort. We are pure and we have no responsibilities, and we can associate ourselves easily with the nature. But afterwards, we have to give some time to ourselves, some time to nature, and we have to put some effort, and we can communicate with that nature. Line number 7, the cataracts will blow their trumpets from the steep. The meaning of the line is the waterfalls make loud sounds. Wordsworth compares waterfall to trumpets. So here again he has used a literary device metaphor. Waterfall sound, trumpet music. Now this shows nature celebrating loudly. So on his poetry tells us that he takes nature as a living thing. Means for him nature is alive. Now come to the line number 8. No more shall grief of mine the season home. The poet decides he will not allow sadness to spoil the beauty of season. Even though childhood vision is gone, he will still appreciate nature. So he counsels himself that he should associate with the nature, with the feelings of the nature, which is definitely gives happiness every person. So he tries to lessen his grief and decides not to associate with the happiness of nature. Now now we discuss the themes which are discussed in these lines. First one is loss of childhood vision. Children see the world with wonder, adults lose the magical perspective. Then comes the spiritual connection with nature. Nature is not just scenery. For Wordsworth, nature is a spiritual teacher. Means in the lines 4 and 5, where we discuss that he says that although childhood is easy to associate with nature, but if the man puts some effort, he can associate with nature or can extract happiness from the nature by putting some effort. So for him nature is a spiritual teacher, and that is for whole life. Hope and consolation. Every though childhood vision disappears, nature still provides comfort and wisdom. So now next he consoles himself, gives hope himself and to his reader that same thing, that if the man wants, if the man has a will to excrete happiness in any age, he can. So now we discuss which literary devices are used in these lines. First is personification, metaphor, imagery. So you all know what is personification, metaphor, and imagery. We have discussed in the class, but what now you should have a look again on it and write 5 examples of personifications, metaphor, and imagery. Now come to the conclusion. In these lines, William Wordsworth expresses a deep philosophical idea. Nature remains beautiful, but human perception changes with age. However, by accepting this truth, the poet learns to find strength and peace again in nature. Thus, the poem teaches us even if childhood wonder fades, nature can still give more meaning to life. Thank you, students. It was today's lecture. Please listen it carefully and try to make your own notes.